gentlemen, I would like to welcome everybody to tonight's Dayton City Council meeting, the regular City Council meeting for March 10th of 2026. It is 7:02 p.m. I apologize for any tardiness, and I blame my attorney. Traffic, yes. Call to order, roll call, please, Ms. Klein.
Member Kelly.
Here.
Member Judd.
Here.
Member Levens. Here. Member Horton.
Here.
Member Neary.
Here.
Member Neiman. Walking in.
She's walking in.
We'll come back.
Yeah,
City
we'll give her
Attorney Edmondson.
Here.
City Administrator Fawcett.
Here.
Member Neiman. Here. Mayor Baker.
Here. Excellent. We have a full house. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and do a moment of silence and a pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. The mayor's report for this month. First thing on the agenda, we have a birthday in the house, and it's us. The city of Dayton, Kentucky yesterday turned 159 years old when Jamestown and Brooklyn merged at the corner of Berry Street. Am I correct, Joe? I know you're very versed in that.
Barry was about
Right, but that was the corner of Berry is where Jamestown and Brooklyn were,
Berry
right?
Avenue is the dividing line.
Yeah. So they joined back in 1849?
1849 is when the governor, on this date in 1849 is when the governor approved the merger. On the 12th of March was the first city council meeting in 1849.
Excellent. So,
Or no, I'm
happy
sorry, 1860, it was after the Civil War. We have 1849 on our logo, but that's actually the date that I believe Brooklyn was founded. Jamestown was founded 1848.
I think Jamestown was first.
Yeah, Jamestown 48, Brooklyn 49, and then after the Civil War is when you saw a lot. Fort Thomas was established about the same time, Bellevue, et cetera. But 1867 was the combination of Jamestown and Brooklyn.
So doing my math, that makes us 159?
159, correct, sir.
Excellent. In honor of that, we have free cupcakes over there for anyone who wants free cupcakes. Whether your math is good or not, it's over there. But yeah, happy birthday to us, you know. Second of all, speaking of Dayton, we have these really cool hats that were being offered by Dayton Athletics Association today. So you can pick some of these up. They're $30. Go ahead and get a hold of Dayton High School, and they will take care of that for you. And that's all I really have on my mayor's report for the week. Next up is the approval of minutes. Do I have a motion to approve approval of minutes of February 10th, 2026?
I'll make that motion.
Member Neiman's made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Member Judd's made a second. Roll call, please.
Member Judd.
Aye.
Member Levens. Aye. Member Horton.
Aye.
Member Neary.
Aye.
Member Neiman.
Aye.
Member Kelly.
Abstain.
The ayes have it. Next up on the agenda are presentations. This should be awesome. First is the Dayton Schools Superintendent, Mr. Wolf. Could you please approach the stadium or the podium and give us a state of the schools?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see you this evening. This is my second time coming here and giving you a state of the schools. I know Superintendent Jay Brewer would come. He came for many years as well. And after I left here last year, the one thing I thought after I left is that the reason I went into education was for kids. I love being around kids, all ages of kids. And I thought my report would be 1,000 times better. Instead of me telling you about our kids, I showed you our kids. Because we have some amazing leaders in our school. We offer some wonderful opportunities. Besides being all about kids, I'm all about providing our kids with opportunities and experiences. And so I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you, and they can tell you the opportunity and experiences that they have at Dayton schools, and then I'll allow you to ask them any questions you would like. Because these are students that show up every day, they work hard, they're kind, wonderful human beings, and they work through adversity, just like every grown adult does. These are kids you're not going to read about a lot of times on the Dayton Buzz or the Voices of Dayton page. You won't read about these kids because these kids, just like I said, are just amazing kids that a lot of times we don't hear their stories. And so I wanted you to hear their stories. This is just a very brief sheet that I wanted to give you, just with a few kind of updates and statistics about Dayton schools. You can read through those. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about those, but I'm going to go ahead and start off and allow these wonderful Green Devil leaders to introduce themselves and tell you what they're involved in, and then we'll see what questions you may have at the end. All right? Thank you, guys. All right.
Hello, my name is Haley McVeigh. I'm a senior at Dayton High School. I take 2 Gateway dual credit classes currently. I take sociology and entrepreneurship. I'm involved in 2 sports. I played soccer for 2 years. I was the captain this year. I played bowling for 5 years. And then I do the morning news for our school, and I have been doing that for 3 years now, and I love it. But I also do the weekly newsletter that comes out every week on Dayton's Facebook page. But let me go back to the news. I love doing the news, and I loved it so much that I wanted to pursue it in college. I chose Berea College, which is located in Berea, Kentucky, as the college I want to go to. I will major in communications and minor in broadcast journalism. And the last thing I want to say is Dayton is like a home away from home.
That's awesome. My wife is a Berea College graduate. So if you ever want to talk to her about anything about how amazing that college is, she'd love to talk to you about it. Good job.
Hi, my name is America Gonzalez. I'm a senior at Dayton. I've done the Young Scholars Academy for 2 years now. I did cheer for 4 years, drug-free club, National Honor Society, student council. I did soccer and band for a little bit. I'll be graduating this May with 60 college credit hours and an associate's degree. And after graduation, I plan to attend NKU, finish my my degree in human resource management. I have a fellowship with my professor, the Center for Economic Excellence at NKU. After a year of that, I'll get any internship I want in the tri-state area.
Good job, America.
Fantastic.
Hi there. My name is Kaylee Garcia Lopez. I am a junior at Dayton High School. I am taking Campbell County's ATC Area Technology Center. I am currently taking fire science. I see that as my future and my career and my pathway. I also am taking National Honor Society. This is my second year, which I'm very grateful for. I also see myself going to EKU, studying for paramedics and firefighting, and also in the near future joining the Army.
Thank you so much for your work.
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Vasquez Wilson. I am a junior at Dayton High School. I attend the program called Ensweiler, which is the first year that Dayton High School has offered it to us. There we learn a little bit about everything. We do plumbing, electricity, concrete work. Right now we're in carpentry, where I got named shop foreman, so I'm the boss to everybody. Just get to yell, fire people. And I'm a multi-sport athlete. I play football, play baseball, and then I run track and cross country, where I got named captain, boys runner of the year for varsity, and newcomer of the year for cross country. The thing I like about Dayton was I came last year from a school in Ohio called Wither, but Dayton, I love Dayton because they're coming. That's like home. They're welcoming. I thought when I came here I wasn't gonna fit in, but fit in pretty good. I got my friend Elias, actually the first person ever talked to me at Dayton High School, and ever since then we've been like that, like brothers. Thank you. My name's Kevin.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Well done, sir. Well done.
My name's Elias Lopez. I'm a junior at Dayton High School. I'm attending the welding program at Gateway Community College. Right now we're learning how to stick weld. I'm also a four-sport athlete. I play baseball, football, basketball, and track. This year my football season was cut short to only 7 games because of a labrum tear, but I was still ranked top 28 in NKY. And I came here my 8th grade year from Lloyd, and I was really nervous. I didn't know anybody up here, but getting here and getting to this great school, it made me feel like I was part of the community from day one, and I haven't thought about leaving since then. Thank you.
Excellent, man. Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
Hi, my name is Brooke Dan, and I'm a sophomore at Dayton High School. I play volleyball and I run track, and I'm a part of the Energy Bus Club. And next year, my junior year, I will be attending Campbell County ATC for fire science.
Excellent. We love fire science.
The fire chief's writing these names down.
Yeah, get some resumes over there.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Tillett. I'm a sophomore at Dayton High School, and I'm a part of the basketball team, the volleyball team here, and I run track. And I'm also part of the Energy Bus Club and the National Honor Society. And next year, I'm going to be a junior, and I'm going to Gateway for my general.
Excellent. Good work, Brooklyn.
Hello, I am Gabriel Richardson from Dayton High School. I am a freshman. A little surprising, I think. But I'm here because I participate in STLP, which is Student Technology Leadership Program. I've gone here all of my life, Dayton High School, or Dayton. K through 9, I guess, which would be. Sorry, I'm stuttering a bit.
Oh, you're fine, man.
It's been a minute since I've done something up here on like a stage or anything like that.
Yeah, no worries, man. Just converse. We're all cool.
I participate in esports as well, which is a club that has been, to my knowledge, newly renditioned in our school that has only came up in the past few years, I'm pretty sure. Presently, all we do is Rocket League. Anyway, SDLP is what I'm here for, so I should explain that a little better. Student Technology Leadership Program, and normally what we do is we take courses through WLCS, which is an online class. That WLCS is a university, I believe. All I'm learning presently is the intro to cybersecurity, which is kind of basic, but that's what we need to learn as a freshman to get into the fields of cybersecurity. And not all I know. I was suggested that I should probably go into data networking. I'll be frank, I don't know much about data networking, but I do I'm a freshman, I pushing it through.
So that's what I did when I was your age. I did data networking. I started, back then we had these things called dial-up modems. You guys probably know what dial is, but they would call into my parents' basement where I ran a bulletin board system out of the basement. And that was kind of pre-internet. And then, yeah, it turned out to a really good career for me, man. And it's a great thing that you're doing. And if you wanted to talk about it offline, you know, I'd love to meet with you and talk about it. I think what you're doing is great.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I guess we'll back off this.
Oh, you're great, man.
Great job.
Thanks, Gabriel.
So that is not my their presentation. I just wanted you guys to see and hear from them. Any questions for myself? Any questions for these wonderful young men and young women?
Very impressive. Impressive.
Thank you.
I do the announcing for football and basketball, and we have the 2 senior nights a year where the seniors are presented and a list of all of the clubs and activities and everything else that they're involved in. I ran out of breath with these kids. The amazing part, and to you kids, the number of programs that are available to you in Dayton is really amazing to somebody like me, and I'm glad to see that you're all taking advantage of it. And when you start in your career, or done with your college or whatever, move back here, stay here, please. But very impressive, and for the school district too.
Thank you. Would you guys mind if I had them stand up here and get a picture?
Oh, we'd love that.
Is that all right?
Yeah, do that.
Let's do that. All right, you guys, we're gonna get a picture.
You want to get away from these tables in the front?
Yes, that works.
Oh, all of us.
What are we doing? I don't want to move until, okay.
Here, I'll stand back here. I'm too short. Get in the front.
All right, ready?
All right.
Good job, guys. We do this 12 times a year. I think that's the coolest one. It's very impressive, sir. Thank you guys for doing that. What's that? Yeah, if y'all want to leave, you're welcome to leave. If you want to hang out and listen to city stuff, you're welcome to do
I
that.
thought it was required that they had to
Get a
stay the whole
cupcake.
meeting.
Yeah, you guys are great.
Thank you.
Yeah, go Devils.
Thank you.
Yeah, eat a cupcake, man, ladies. I don't want to eat them. I mean, I do, just one, but not 6. Next in the docket, you know, we are so very, very lucky to have some tenured employees here in our city. And tonight, we're going to recognize one of our friends who's been here for quite a long time, longer than I have been. Mr. Tony Baldwin, Lieutenant Baldwin, we call him LT around City Hall.
Not anymore, he moved up.
LTC now. That's right, Lieutenant Colonel. I'm old school, I call him LT. But Chief Halfhill, thank you very much.
All right, I got a speech put together. It's kind of not too long, but this is 30 years in the making, so I'll try to get through it here. So good evening. Tonight we have the honor to recognize someone who has dedicated 3 decades of service to the city, and that will be LTC, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Baldwin. 30 years ago, he was sworn in by my father-in-law, Bobby Crittenden, with his wife, Kathy, by his side. The very next morning at 6 a.m., he stepped into the first shift as a patrolman. And although he already had a few years of part-time experience in Wilder and Bromley at the time, under his belt, that day marked the true beginning of a remarkable career. If you know Tony, you know he had a front row seat to just about everything a growing community can offer. He's watched the city change, evolve, and thrive. Yet somehow keep that small town heart. And through it all, he's been a constant present, steady, dependable, and fully committed. Over the years, Tony has worked with more people than most of us can count. Some taught him lessons he treasures, and others taught him lessons that he survived. And if you ask him, he'll tell you every year here is worth 3 years everywhere else. I think we know exactly what we mean by that. I've had the privilege of working alongside Tony for many years, including those early night shifts when neither of us imagined I'd one day be chief and he'd be my lieutenant colonel. But even back then, Tony was a guy you wanted next to you, the partner you trusted, the leader you listened to, and a friend who always had your back. And today, he continues to mentor the younger officers, many of whom are the same age as his own kids. He may joke about feeling like the station parent, but the truth is, he brings out the best in them. He keeps them grounded, keeps them laughing, and keeps them learning. Tony often gets asked when he's going to retire, and his answer is simple. He still loves coming to work, he still enjoys the job, the people, and the community he serves. He's achieved so much already, and he still has one more goal he hopes to accomplish before he decides it's time. But no matter when that day comes, one thing is certain, Tony will leave knowing he made a difference because he already has. Tony, thank you for 30 years of dedication, leadership, sacrifice, and heart. Thank you to Kathy and your family for sharing you with this city, or for sharing him with the city. And thank you for showing all of us what it truly means to serve. On behalf of the Dayton Police Department, it is my honor to present you, Tony Baldwin, with this award in recognition of 30 years of outstanding service.
Let me get a picture of you guys. The handshake. Oh, sorry.
All right. 3 decades.
That's 90 years, 8 years. It's a long time.
It's a long time. Get one of you guys. Yeah, all you.
Block out the women's room sign. There we go. Great.
She's excited for the program.
A few more years.
Another 30?
Another 30.
Congratulations.
Here's the 30 more.
That's it?
You only ran from him? You only ran away from him one time? Yeah.
Hey, Tony, can we get your family up here?
Yeah.
Oh,
We love you, Tony.
Picture with your family.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, are you gonna introduce the family? Who do we have over there?
Okay.
Let's hear names.
This is actually my namesake.
Hey, Tony.
James Anthony Baldwin II. This is my oldest. This is Crosley, Ada, Jameson, Isla. This is Penny's wife, Chelsea. Oh, and that's my wife.
One more.
Yeah.
That is, it was hefty, very hefty. The hefty trophy. Yeah, grab some cupcakes, guys.
Yeah.
Those are actually Tony Baldwin celebration cupcakes.
Eat it so we don't.
That's why they're blue and white, cops, right?
Oh. We only missed only the first 129 years.
59.
He only missed 129. Oh.
Well, he's got a good fraction of that. Though. Yeah, a good chunk of that patrolling our streets. Well, LTC Baldwin, you're a truly good friend and a great service to our city. So thank you for your service. Thank you to your family for your service, because I know it takes a lot to let you go every night for as many hours as they do. You guys are the best.
When we first met, too, at the park.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was I doing? And why did you not arrest me? Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks for not arresting me. I appreciate that. You guys have a great night. Take cupcakes. Man, what a cool town. Starting off with kids about to do great things and lieutenants who have done great things. We're really lucky. Next on our docket for the evening, we're going to go ahead and open up the podium for public comments for anybody who wants to discuss anything on the agenda this evening with City Council. So if you have a topic you want to discuss on our tonight's agenda and you want to take the podium, you're more than welcome to. I don't see anybody bum rushing the podium, so we'll go ahead and consider that as a closed. Which puts up the ordinances. The first ordinance on the night would be second reading of ordinance 2026-1. Ms. Klein, please.
An ordinance amending the City of Dayton, Kentucky's annual budget for the fiscal year running from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, and estimating revenues and resources and appropriating funds for the city to the full extent authorized by KRS 82082 and interpretive case law.
This is a second reading of ordinance 2026-1. Mr. Fawcett, anything to discuss?
Yeah, we discussed this in depth, Jared did last week. We decided we needed, it's halfway through the budget season, so we wanted to update the budget to make it conform to some of the revenues we received and some of the expenses we had, so that's why we're updating the budget this time. We have a July to June budget period, so January was halfway.
And this is a second reading, so need a motion to accept.
I'll move to accept.
Member Judge made a motion to accept. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Member Horton, which opens up the motion for comments. Any comments regarding second reading of ordinance 2026-1? No comments, questions, concerns? Roll call, please, Ms. Klein.
Member Judd?
Aye.
Member Levins?
Aye.
Member Horton?
Aye.
Member Neary?
Aye.
Member Neiman?
Aye.
Member Kelly?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Next and last on the ordinances is the second reading of ordinance 2026-2. Ms. Klein, please.
An ordinance amending sections 110.06, 110.12, and 110.19, and adding a new 110.22 to Chapter 110 of the City of Dayton, Kentucky Code of Ordinances.
Again, I discussed this in detail at last meeting, but a little review is that we are adding some language that clarifies exactly what businesses have to provide to us in terms of federal tax forms when they are submitting their occupational tax payments each year. We also are clarifying and beefing up our procedures for suspending or revoking occupational licenses for people who fail to provide the license or the documentation that goes with that. That's the primary changes to the ordinance.
All right, we had a second reading. Do I have a motion to accept 2026-2?
So moved.
Member Neary's made the movement. Do I have a second?
Second?
Second by Member Neiman. The movement's been made, the second's been made. Do I have any comments, questions, concerns regarding ordinance 2026-2?
Yeah, I have a lot of them, sorry.
Get to work, sir.
So I guess first one is, has these changes been vetted at all with the people that'll be affected by it? So any of our businesses been brought into the fold here for discussion on any changes?
The only people that will be affected by it are those who are not paying the occupational license tax. Everybody else is paying it. So this just addresses those folks who are not paying, pretty much. I mean, we always said that you had to bring in their forms for the federal tax forms, but we just made it even clearer. People were confused about which one was this, so we actually spelled out exactly what it is. So it's really no change, and really, I mean, the only thing that changes is that if you are not paying it, we have the right to go and revoke your license, and there's an appeal process if you want to challenge that. So.
Okay. So you touched on a couple of the questions already, so thanks for that already. The other questions I had were regarding like some guidelines, I guess. So if I'm understanding some of the changes correctly, it's kind of shifting to requiring city council to fully vote on certain things, to instead the office of the city administrator to be able to make certain decisions.
So you all have to vote on all ordinances. That's the requirement under Kentucky law. So I'm not sure if I understand your question.
Yeah, so sorry, I know this is an ordinance and this will have to be passed by us, but what I'm saying is once that passes, if I'm reading it correctly, it allows for the city administrator's office to make some decisions without necessarily passing it through city council, and it's a lot of like administrative stuff, so I'm not too worried about some of that stuff, but like, I guess my simple question is, what standards will the city administrator use to decide suspension versus warnings versus payment plans or anything else like that? Is there anything?
It's all set forth in the ordinance itself. So if they're not paying their taxes, that's a violation, and their license can be revoked. We generally are pretty. We generally won't do this unless they've been not paying for 3 years. We have people that haven't paid. Have been running businesses for 10 years, haven't paid anything. So we've gotten to the point where they just ignore us. And so it's not fair. We get all these businesses that are doing the right thing and paying their taxes, and we have a handful, not many, but a handful that are not, and it's just not fair. And some of the businesses don't generate a lot of income, but still, you have to play by the rules. So yes, initially we talked about this, Alex and I worked on this, that we were allowing, we thought maybe we would appeal to you all as a body, and we decided that doesn't make sense, and you all should not be involved in the day-to-day operations. So we decided to make the city manager the first step in the appeal process. They can, if they do not agree with my decision, then they can appeal that to the Code Enforcement Board. And if they don't agree with that decision, then they can appeal it to the district court. So the idea was to give them due process. Now we got 3 shots of due process. They don't like my decision, they go to Code Enforcement. They don't like Code Enforcement, they go to, actually they have 4. They could go to the district court, and they don't like district court, they can go to circuit court. They don't like circuit court, they go to Court of Appeals. And so they got plenty of due process. We didn't have the due process really before. Our process just said it could be revoked. It didn't really have a lot of language about, how, if it is revoked, how do you do it? We wanted to make sure we were doing it legally. So that's one of the main changes. Go ahead.
Can I make a comment? And Jay knows, and I'll leave the city out of it because I'm on the other side representing the property owner or the person whose license was stripped. But there was a certain city in northern Kentucky that passed an ordinance about 2 years ago that said unilaterally, without due process, that they could revoke an occupational license from a business if they failed to pay their property taxes, or any license for that matter, without due process. And they basically, the city clerk just sends them a letter and says your occupational license is revoked. That's a problem. So Jay and I looked at it carefully to figure out how to make sure, because everyone there's extenuating circumstances in some cases, that a person could come and could appeal to the necessary parties and say, well, this is why I'm having a hard time filing my taxes. My building burnt to the ground. I have no paperwork, something along those lines. Or a party could pass away and leave the other office in upheaval. So there's a lot of reasons we do it, but the fundamental core concept is giving a person the option before their business is shuttered, which candidly is an extreme remedy, the opportunity to avail themselves through due process. And when I discovered that other particular city, name remain anonymous, thought that they had the right to do that, it's disgusting, because there was council members and a mayor and a city attorney that ratified it with no due process, which is completely against the law and contrary to everything that we all know and love about the opportunity to avail yourself. So when we looked at this ordinance and putting you all in a position, the elected bodies, could be a very difficult thing. So, and we are dealing with it on a weekly, if not every 2-week basis, of a business and an excuse why they're not paying when everybody else is. So, we, for other reasons, will keep a couple of these parties anonymous as well, the people in the city of Dayton that are availing themselves of every remedy, law enforcement, fire, code enforcement, remedies, but don't pay taxes. It's crazy.
The most extreme cases we have, there are a couple rental property owners that do this and a couple business owners that do this that are pretty good businesses. They don't provide any of the documentations. We have to audit this. They're saying this is what we made, and we say, well, we need to see your federal tax returns because you swear under oath and perjury, subject to perjury, that this is correct. They don't provide it. So what we found out with those people is that they haven't ever filed federal tax returns. So we're requiring them to file federal tax returns so we can document that, in fact, what they're making is truly what they're saying. They come in and pay the base fee, and they say, okay, that's it. Or they make up something. We say, you can't do that. You've got to give us documentation. So we actually have a couple businesses now that are working with an accountant and going back and doing tax returns for the past 4 or 5 years.
Okay, that cleared up a lot of my questions. So I had down to 2 small ones. One is, how do we plan on communicating this to the businesses once the ordinance is passed, if it's passed?
Well, when we talked about that, we have a letter going out. We'll talk about that. We have a postcard going out.
Yeah, we do have a postcard going out to all of the businesses that are registered with the city, telling them the deadlines, which were already established, and who it applies to, just as like an informational mailer. But then I think we were going to send an additional letter to the ones that this would specifically
That's
impact.
correct.
Yeah.
But we
Certified?
That has not been discussed.
I say certified.
Yeah. So there will be some communication going out in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. And then will there be any report outs back to council, being that we are not part of this process? It would be I think it'd be nice for us to be at least abreast of when we are pulling the operations of a business in our area.
I hope we don't have to. I mean, this is mainly, we're just the sort of, the class, well, I can't remember the guy's name, but just sort of held over their head that hopefully they'll do the right thing. But if we do, since I've been here, we haven't revoked anybody's license because I was concerned that I didn't see a real due process method to give them the rights they are entitled to. So, yeah, but now I feel confident we can do it. And so, yeah, we can report to you, but I can tell you right now, Angie's got a list of about 20 businesses that have not complied, and we can share that with you too. But I'm hopeful that they will comply once they realize that, okay, we beefed this up, and we're not going to put up with it anymore.
Good deal. Yeah, overall, I'm very happy with the way this is structured. I like the clarity of it. I like a lot of things. I just had a few clarifying questions, and one of those just was my last one there, where I just wanted to make sure that although we're completely out of that process, it'd be nice to know.
We'll be happy to report.
To see if there's anything that we can assist with, or just be knowledgeable about it before things get out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you a list of all the ones that are delinquent and have been for years. And we're gonna hit the ones that are the worst initially and then go down the line from there.
Okay, and I think this is somewhat related, so I'll bring this into the fold. I heard Mayor Cleaves in Bellevue talk about how they had some short-term rental businesses that were not known about until they kind of audited their area to kind of look for short-term rental businesses that existed in the area. Have we done any work in that regard, and is this related to that?
I've actually worked with the Meet NKY, which is the Convention and Visitors Bureau. They have a software that tracks all that, and they provided information to us. We don't have as many as Bellevue does, but we knew of most of ours. Cassie does a pretty good job because we're doing the rental inspection program here. We have a better handle than some cities about that. But there are a few. The only thing we're waiting on, there's legislation right now in the General Assembly that is basically seeking to tie the hands of cities at how they deal with short-term rentals. So we're kind of waiting for that, and that will be done here in the next 2 months, March into April. And we'll have a better idea whether we can even do anything to regulate that. I actually started working on a regulation ordinance in January, and then I heard this bill got filed. We said, well, this is stupid to pass this and work on this and finish this until we know whether it's just a waste of time. So I think we'll revisit this after the General Assembly's over.
That officially wraps up my questions. Thank you.
I'm glad I'm happy to answer them.
That's why I love having a council of 6. Thank you, sir.
And just to clarify, in case none of the rates are changing.
No.
Okay?
Just enforcement.
This is simply to clarify, for example, that apartment buildings with more than 3 units are included in this, and clarifies the reporting that's required, and then what recourse the city has to enforce it. And then also, you copied and pasted, you revised the old ordinance that we had in place for many years, and under that, it said the right of appeal, if someone's license was suspended or whatever, they could come before council and we'd have to vote on it. Well, we're the legislative branch. We make the rules. That's the executive branch. They enforce the rules. And it also allows with this circuit court, should they not agree with your decision, so there's a judicial part in there too. So it really covers it quite nicely as far as the process.
And the great thing is bringing the Code Enforcement Board in is there's already statutory provisions about how you appeal that to the court system. So it's been proven and tested. So that's the best way to go.
I had a question. How does that play out in the beginning? Like they haven't filed their taxes and now they're in arrears. Do you give them a warning?
Yeah. Yes. So we have given warnings. We give warnings all the time, and I mean we have people that I think said haven't paid for 5 or 6 years. We warn them, and then now we're actually starting to take some to court, both civilly and criminally, and that seems to get their attention. So we have a couple we've taken criminally because they just ignored us, and once they go to court, the judges are siding with us saying you got to pay this. So, but we only do that after a number of warnings.
Okay.
I mean,
how many?
At least 3.
Okay.
At least 3. That's 3 years generally. So I mean,
Oh.
we do 3 warnings in 1 year, and then usually we wait a couple years before we put the hammer down. So they generally get at least 3 warnings from Angie before we, realize that they're not going to pay it. So, so yeah, they get plenty of warnings.
When you get your 3rd warning from Angie, you know you got it. Trust me. Any other questions? All right, well, we have a motion by Member Neary and a second by Member Neiman. No more questions, no more comments, no more concerns. Ms. Klein, roll call, please.
Member Levins?
Aye.
Member Horton?
Aye.
Member Neary?
Aye.
Member Neiman?
Aye.
Member Kelly?
Aye.
Member Jed?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Moving right along the docket, next up is order resolutions, and we have none on the docket this evening, which puts us up to the department director's monthly reports. And as we like to do in the city of Dayton, we do ladies first. So Ms. Cassie, with your code enforcement. Well, I try to do that out of politeness so you could leave if you want to.
Okay, you have a copy of my report, copy of the rental license report. A couple things I want to say again, that Dayton School's still looking for mentors.
Rotary Club.
What?
Want to talk about a Rotary Club?
The Rotary Club, I went to the Rotary Club meeting. They are interested, they love Dayton, they want to volunteer in Dayton. If anybody would like to join, shoot me an email. I'll get the information out.
They do good civic stuff.
They do great things.
They really do.
I'm meeting with them tomorrow to come up with a project. I want to push the mentoring side of it because I think a lot of these people have quite a bit of free time. And we're going to brainstorm on a project.
Yeah, so if council has any ideas about what might be a project for a group of volunteers that you would like to see in Dayton, I know they talked about the community garden. That's something usually folks like want to do on their own. Maybe it's a pride thing about their own little plot. But if you can think of anything around the city where a group of volunteers could help with, we've got a group of volunteers who want to help.
Mm-hmm. It's a small group.
Yeah. But it's a powerful group. I like them.
But yeah, they do great things. So we're going to throw a couple ideas around and see what we come up with. It's interesting. I love it. I love volunteerism. So,
When is that meeting?
they have the meetings, they're on Thursdays.
Thursdays?
Here. Lunchtime. Usually it's 12 to 1.
So they do 2 a month. They do one at lunch and they do one after hours.
Okay. Well, I just went to the one at lunch last
Yeah.
week, so I'm new to this. But I'm meeting with Barbara
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow to kind of brainstorm about some ideas for the next meeting. So if you're interested, I'll shoot you the information.
about it.
Okay.
Sign her up.
It's really not a huge commitment. That's what kind of I think a lot of people like about it. It's, you can come, you can go. You don't want to come, you don't have to come. So it's, I think that's what's nice about volunteering. So.
Before Cassie sits down, I want to talk about something happened today. So Cassie is, she's the mean old code enforcement lady. She's out there telling people to clean up their properties, and she's done an amazing job over the past 4 or 5 years. She's been here doing that, and you can see it in the city, and the transformation is amazing. But she, can be pretty tough because you got to be tough in that job, and people ignore you. You got to, cite them and take them to the code enforcement board if necessary. But what people don't realize too is that she sends notes to people that do a really nice job maintaining their property. And she sends them out. And we ran into someone today who got one a couple years ago. And she says, I still love that note you gave me. I have it in my refrigerator. I show it to everybody who comes to my house. And so I just wanted to say, she's not just the bad code enforcement lady. She's also recognizing people
I'm
that
not mean all the time.
that are doing the right thing on their properties too. So I just wanted to say that.
Well, thanks. Thank you. All right. Thanks.
Jay's not just the bad city attorney or administrator. He's also an okay one. Just kidding, buddy.
He wears many hats.
Mr. Lucas, you've had a busy month as always. Why don't you tell us all about it?
Okay, we've been doing a lot of potholes, and some of them are repeat. So we've done quite a few of them. We probably used about 3 tons of coal patch so far this winter. Also, 3rd Street, I don't know if everybody knows about the trailer that was down there.
We purchased a trailer here about a year ago, and what happened?
That's all just about put away.
Rick took it
It's all-
down.
It's all crushed up, and I got 1 load down there, and I think I got 1 more load before it's all gone. And then we'll clean the lot up, and that problem will be gone.
Was that trailer down there? I drove by there and I didn't even know where it came from. Was it?
It was right beside the community
Right
garden.
there? Like I have no memory of it. Okay.
It was next to the old
Across from
garden.
the old Kenton Cafe.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, where the community garden was at. The
Right next
old
door to
one.
the community garden.
Yeah.
The old one.
I saw it there. And
And we do have water in that community garden.
Oh,
We
you
do
do?
have a spigot.
Yeah.
But I had water company turn it off, but it still works. All we have to do is call the water company and have it turned back on if we ever need water in two lots there.
Okay.
And let's see, Jay's got some news on, coming up on his report, so I'll let him have that one. And probably not next week, maybe the week after, look at start turning the water on at Gilland Park. Once again, it's gonna be water permitting.
And the grass is turning green, Rick.
Oh, I know, I've already seen it. And,
Paint it brown, Rick.
Garrett told me it was okay to put a garbage can down at Gilland Park for the pickleball court.
Sure.
We have some nice green ones up there. They're metal.
And we talked about putting a sidewalk from the main sidewalk into that gate, so that's a project we got
Yeah, and
lined
then
up too.
we'll move the garbage can in the middle
Yeah,
of that area right there.
okay.
And
So I just also want to mention that we had some pretty big rains here recently, I mean,
Yeah.
big downpours, and we've invested a lot in stormwater infrastructure, in large part because of a cost-sharing agreement with SD1. And so we've not had any problems for a while.
whatsoever.
The big project we just finished last fall, and we still have to repave it, is the project at Walnut, 4th and 3rd. That was causing some major issues, and this bad last storm, there were no major problems. We also had a low spout on 4th Street that we put a drain in, and it's not collecting there anymore, so. But they also, when big rainstorms are coming, they go out and they clean out all the storm drains all throughout the city. His team does, so they do a good job. You can have plenty of storm drains that they're not,
Right.
but if they're not cleaned out, they're not
we
gonna
cleaned
work.
them quite a few
Right.
this year. And
So knock on wood, so far, our improvements have seemed to be working well. We also did one up in River Point with the help of SD1, and that addressed the ice issue we had up there. And this winter, they didn't have the ice like they've had in the past, so it's good.
And we're probably going to have to get the water company back out. A lot of these patches they're doing, they're sinking.
Right.
They got one there on McKinney. It's really bad. And they just did that last week.
I know.
It's already sunk down. So they're going to have to come back out and redo some of those.
We have an ordinance that requires that, so let me know. I'll work with you on notifying them.
Other than that, that's about it for me. If anybody's got any questions.
Up on Dayton Pike, Jay, I talked to you about this the other day, and I know like you said, we've had some heavy rains, but there's a couple properties there on the east side of Dayton Pike that have a bunch of gravel
We
that
cleaned it
washes
all
out
up
on
the
the
other
Dayton
day.
Pike, the real fine pea gravel.
Cassie, you want to come here and talk about that? We're working on it.
Yeah, I noticed that when it rained, and that property is recently been transferred, so
Right.
I sent them a notice.
Okay,
told them
good.
that they have to,
It used to be worse, but they did concrete one driveway, but they didn't do the other one. And so
Yeah,
that
they
all
basically
washed
have
down
a-
this last storm.
yeah, big piece of plastic up there with gravel all over it.
Right.
Sent them a notice.
And a
Yeah,
couple
she
of the,
sent me a notice too on that.
well, and a couple of the other
I
properties.
sent him to clean it up. So,
Well, I didn't know.
it was dangerous.
Very dangerous, and it looked bad too. And I know you've had to shovel it out of the street.
Yes.
But there's a couple of other properties on that side too that also have the same issue. And I don't know if in our codes or building codes or whatever, we talked a while back about requiring a drain across the bottom of a driveway or.
That's for new construction though, so that they're grandfathered in. So,
Right.
yeah.
But I mean, is there anything that we should do to make them put bigger gravel in there that doesn't wash away as easy or? I don't
Some
know.
of
I
them
don't-
goes, it's going to wash.
They wouldn't be able to do that today. Our zoning code requires asphalt or concrete, so that was probably done before we required that. So it's more of a nuisance thing. We'd have to sign them under our nuisance code or
And I mean,
property
it really
management code.
rained hard. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are issues when it rains, but that was really bad.
In
Yeah,
that
this has
area,
been going on for a long time with some of those properties. Nonetheless, I was just wondering if there's
Yeah.
something we had to do as
I mean,
far
if you
as.
see it, you go up and down that road a lot more than I do, shoot me a text and I'll run up there and check it out.
But Casey and I talked about it. You were going to try to reach out to the property owner, right, about it and see
Yeah.
if they will address it.
And with the repaving, I know it got put on hold last fall because the weather turned quick. But I imagine Eaton is going to start with the paving soon.
Mike Giger is working on it. We're talking to them that we want ours done first. They still have a couple streets left in Bellevue. They started in Bellevue, got, I think, 3 or 4 done, and then a couple left there, and then they said they're going to come here. So, Mike, I need to talk to Mike. He was supposed to reach out to Eaton. I haven't heard back from him, so we had a conversation about that. We want him to do that first. So they should be opening up the factories here, the asphalt factories here pretty soon. This is the time they start operating.
Our roads look a lot, I mean, if people complain about potholes all the time, but we look a lot better than many of our adjoining cities.
You ever notice when people drive towards Cincinnati on Route 8 that everyone dodges? It's like left and right.
Yeah.
Not calling anybody out, but I've seen that.
Well, it's all the salt we use. That's what causes the heaving. And then I imagine, last thing, as far as Dayton Pike, that's not going to be repaved until the sidewalk
Yeah, so we're putting in we're putting in curbs and sidewalks and storm inlets there, so it'd be stupid to repave it. And actually, Water District put a new water line in there, and they were going to repave just a strip. We said, just give us that money, and we'll put it toward repaving the whole street. So once the Dayton Pike sidewalk project's done, hopefully this season, if time allows and money allows, we'll pave Dayton Pike after that. So the whole plan was, why waste the money and ripping it up, doing construction, and then going back and repaving it? So it's going to be, I know it's been a bad winter with the road, but we're hopeful that that will be done this year.
Thank you.
If the timing works right with the sidewalk project. So we're getting close. We'll talk about that at the strategic planning session.
I have a question.
Yeah.
10th Street steps, the repair for the.
I was going to talk about that.
Oh, you
That's one of the
were?
things.
Oh, my
we wanna-
goodness. Okay.
So we met today with Susan, and she and Rick and I met, and actually Cassie is with us too. She's going to probably start on it next week.
Wow.
So what we're going to do, we're going to start at the lower level because that's in really pretty good shape, and because we have to order the piping, and we're going to order it, and Rick's going to cut it to size so we can save money instead of paying her to do that. We're going to do it, and then she's going to weld it in place. So she's initially going to work on the lower level while we're waiting for the supplies to come in, and she's been measuring each of the pieces that are missing, and she's going to give us that measurement, and once we get the pipe in, we'll cut it to size, bring it up there for her, and help her put it together.
Fantastic.
So she's hoping to start that next week.
Great.
Similar concern to Member Neary over there. Street cleaning. Do we do street cleaning on a regular basis? And if so, what is that cadence?
Jared has been working with our street cleaner, so I'll direct it to him.
We do have street cleaning. They're supposed to be here the first and second Monday of the month. They have not been, so they're likely going to be moved to a different.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're frustrated with this as well.
Any other questions for Mr. Lucas? Good night, Rick.
It's exciting.
Fire cops. Let's go cops. Chief Hatfield?
Okay, you have my report. I sent out a yearly report. I like to go over that with you during our strategic planning session, so we can go over that then if you have any questions with that. I also sent you my multi-year goals, I guess, so you also received that. This came in late. This is from the social workers. They weren't able to get that in, so I just went ahead and printed it off and gave it to you there. The new question on the block, I guess, is e-bikes. Have been a problem now that it's warmer out and kids are getting out their Christmas gifts and riding all over town. I put something on our Facebook page, gave you some guidance with that on what the law is requiring, electric scooters, e-bikes, and stuff like that. So as of right now, e-bikes in Kentucky do not require driver's license, registration, or insurance. There's no statewide helmet law either. So I think we had an incident where somebody got on Facebook because one of our officers stopped somebody, and that was because they were stopped at a stop sign and this e-bike blew past them.
Ran the stop sign.
Ran the stop sign. They were tandem. There was two on it, and they paced them at about 30 miles an hour. So he stopped them, let them know what the rules are, what the law is, because e-bikes fall under bicycle laws. So you have to obey all traffic. Bicycles have to obey all traffic laws. So you must stop at all intersections. Most of the time, you don't see bikes. You know, when we had the big groups coming down Route 8 or down the avenue and stuff like that, sometimes they don't stop. It's okay. You know, sometimes it's okay. It is officer's discretion, but
He didn't give him a ticket. He just gave him a
yeah,
warning.
he just gave him a warning. And then, of course, the parent got online and wanted to bash the police. So I think that the parents need to, before they send these kids out on these e-bikes and electric scooters, they need to know what the law is and pretty much tell them what the law is. It's not.
And actually, I mean, he could have saved that kid's life in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, you going through a stop sign, going that fast, and you could easily get T-boned by
Yeah,
a
we
car.
actually-
and bikes don't win that battle.
Yeah, we actually went down and talked to the Bellevue group down there that has the e-bike store. And none of these bikes that these kids are on are any of theirs. These are the ones from like Temu or something like that, and they're not regulated. They're from China or whatever, and these go faster because they're supposed to be regulated at 28 miles an hour. And these are going 30 to 35 miles an hour.
Wow.
You know, so that's something. I did get with Officer Brendel, so to talk to the kids, to try to educate the kids, what are some things we can do. We've had bike rodeos in the past, and we've had a summer safety fair. We're going to try that again. It hasn't been very successful just with turnout with kids because sometimes kids don't like to be told what to do or what the laws are. It's like they're going to do what they want to do, and we just want to try to get the education out there. So I did give this to Officer Brendel, the school resource officer. They are going to do an announcement in the morning and try to read this and try to advise the kids what, you know, because there's a couple kids I know that leave school and they're tandem on e-bikes. And he's going to plan on stopping them and let them know, hey, you can't do that anymore. And just, I don't know if it's just the kids don't know, which I think that's the majority of it. The kids, I don't think they know what the laws are. They think they're just on bikes and they don't know what traffic laws are because they're 10, 12, 14 years old.
We have an amazing traffic garden down at Gillen to teach folks what does a railroad crossing look like? What does a stop
Yeah.
sign look like? So I encourage them to use that.
Yeah, so we're gonna try. That's gonna be one thing we're gonna try to do is try to get a little education out to them, especially we're getting towards the summer. It's not just us. It's Newport, it's Bellevue, it's Fort Thomas, it's all the cities. Unless you want to contact your state rep and try to get something in the books going to regulate e-bikes. We don't have anything in the books, I don't think, right now. Going through the legislature right now, they're meeting, but you know, if that's something you want to do or try to tackle, I suggest you reach out to your local rep and maybe try to get some type of regulations on these things. Getting a little out of control.
Do you talk to the kids at the school about this? Or
Well,
does
that's what I
anyone?
was- Yeah, that's what I was talking about. We're going to have the school resource officer
Okay.
do an announcement and try to read off what I've given you, what the laws are, that if you're on an e-bike, you have to obey traffic laws. I don't think these kids know that. That if you're on a bike, it's considered an e-bike, but it is a bicycle, you have to obey all traffic laws. You have to stay to the right side of the shoulder. You know, all those things that I don't think they know about. So we want to try to educate them quickly to try to get ahead of this right now to at least if they slow down before they hit an intersection, not just blow by. And I think before I came down here, Tim Hall had one. I think a girl blew through 6th and Main, almost got hit. And he was complaining about it, and somebody forwarded the post I put out about what the safety is for the kids. So this girl almost got hit on her e-bike, just oblivious, going through intersection. Almost got struck by a vehicle. Luckily, that person was paying attention. So I just don't want a tragedy to happen before something, before we start noticing this stuff. So we're trying to get ahead of it. We're trying to do what we can.
Maybe, kids and laws, I don't know how you were, laws were for grown-ups when I
Right.
was a kid. And man, I see these kids flying around town. I've had 2 instances already where I don't know how I didn't hit them or they didn't hit me. And with 2 people on it, it's not just the e-bikes, it's these electric scooters also, which I think are even more dangerous. No helmets, no nothing. I mean, they're carefree. They don't know what the possible implications are. I think along with emphasizing what the laws are, they're just going to say, well, I'll never get caught. What the consequences are. I mean, we had a gentleman who used to live here in Dayton whose son was severely injured last year in a scooter accident. I don't want to have that on my conscience.
Right.
So I think if you played a little bit, almost like a Scared Straight type thing, like you do for homecoming dances when you show them a wrecked car, also emphasize, it can kill them.
Yeah. That's what we're going to try to do with this. We're looking out to what things are out there. Like we already reached out to the e-bike company in Bellevue just to see if there's any classes maybe we can put on for these kids. We've done, like I said, with regular bikes, we've done what we call safety rodeos, where we give them helmets, because these kids need to have helmets on their heads, but we just had low turnout. We still have boxes of helmets that the kids didn't want them, because you don't look cool when you have a helmet on your head, sometimes. So we got to get past that.
Well, maybe you could also combine with the fire department. I know that with these lithium batteries on these bikes and scooters, that they're causing all kinds of fires all over the place. So maybe that can be part of the public safety on these things, because they're getting cheaper. Like you said, summer's coming. We're going to see more and more of a problem.
Well, the summer safety fair that we had to get these kids prepared for the summer, such as call 911, water safety, and stuff like that, that was more gravitated towards the elementary kids. This is something that we need to do the high school.
Right.
We need to change venues to the high school, because this is more impactful to the high school kids. They need to know, what could happen, if they were to get hit by a car. I mean, they could die. I mean, it's a low speed at 30-something miles an hour, but
right.
The other car's going about the same speed, so it's not a good equal point there. So if we can get ahead of it, like I said, it's starting to come out with the warm weather. So we're just trying to get ahead of it right now. So we're planning stuff in the works to try to get ahead of it and try to teach the kids.
Well, thanks for reacting on Facebook and putting those rules out there, because everybody was
Nobody
everybody
knows.
was a lawyer on that thread.
Yeah.
They sure were.
Oh my God.
So, and like I said, there's no law in the books in Kentucky for e-bikes. There's no regulations right now. So,
But we have an ordinance that says they have to follow.
they have to follow
traffic
certain,
regulations.
the bicycles have to follow certain things that we've put in place as a city, as far as riding on sidewalks and certain areas of parks and things like that. I know Sergeant Park, I think, we've had some issues with that, but
Most of the state laws focus on mopeds and scooters that are gasoline powered. They're not really haven't caught up to the electric age.
So I think this summer is going to be a little crazy, where I think you'll see some legislature probably next year. I don't know as far as the country goes how many states have certain laws on the e-bikes. I know there are. California, the bigger states do have it, because they're a problem. They have certain classes. There's 3 classes of e-bikes. So hopefully we can maybe get some little regulations on these things. Getting a little out of control.
Do these regulations for bicycles also apply to like bikes with training wheels or tricycles or stuff in that realm?
Bicycles are bicycles, so no matter if they have training wheels or they're considered a 2-wheel pedal bicycle, or like I said, what they consider an e-bike with some type of electric source or battery source. At all the laws just fall under the bicycle.
Yeah, I guess my bigger question is, does this count for smaller bicycle-ish type things?
Not
Do we
really.
really want little kids on the roads?
Yeah, not really, and we don't see that. We really don't see those kids. The only time we see kids like that are up on the flood wall in parking lots, so that hasn't really been an issue. Like I said, just the e-bikes, and like I said, that's the new thing, and everybody has to have one. It's warm, and kids are getting them out. And
Deal. And then just one comment or suggestion. I sat in the park board meeting not too long ago, and I think they're doing some type of bike event, bike repair event or something like
yeah,
that.
bike repair.
That could be a good opportunity to promote that as well.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments for questions for Mr. Hatfield? Thank you, Chief. Have a good night, sir.
Thank you.
Last but certainly not least, Chief Schaefer.
Good evening. Chief, I just want to say sorry, none of those kids want to be cops. No, but adding on to what he said, you know, the e-bike things are more of a police issue, but unfortunately, you know, I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to work with you. The reality of it is there's going to be a travesty this summer. Just know that everybody's trying to avoid it, but that's what's going to take things. That's not what it's going to take, but that's what's going to happen.
And your team's going to have to respond to that.
Yes. And I mean, you see them, and, you know, bikes are always an issue, but, and like I said, other than us just seeing and knowing it's going to happen, he's got to deal with it. But they're faster, they're hauling more kids, they're not wearing helmets, you know, and you know how teenagers are. To them, it's a motorcycle, and it's going to be a bad thing. So anything we do, in any education we get out there, but unfortunately, I don't think this is real preventable. But so sorry, to be a bummer on that one. But
What else you got there, Chief?
yeah. So everybody has my report. February, we made 157 runs, 39 fire runs, and 118 EMS. We did have some good training, some solar panel fire training. Those are popping up more, so that was really good. Like I said, Duke came in. They did their natural gas training. That was awesome. We do have Duke Electric coming in March or April. Toward the end of March or April, I'll get with you guys if you want to send anybody. Be the same thing. It'll be 3 days. Same thing. That's actually a really good class too. So training 410 hours year to date. So everybody's stepping up on that. Getting our inspections out and going again. Our audit was completed, so I guess final, we'll get it to your city auditors. We did have a crew, firefighter EMT Nance, and firefighter medic Citrillo won the St. Elizabeth Crew of the Quarter, so that was pretty neat. So St. Elizabeth came to the fire board meeting, recognized them for that. And then the other thing I want to make you guys aware of, on April 11th, coming up at 2 p.m., the fire department wants to do a showcase, basically for council and city staff. Come down, we'll get everybody in some gear, go through some different scenarios. There's a house in Bellevue that we're using for training, so you guys can put on gear, break down doors, go flow some water, cut on a car.
What?
So
Is this real?
Yeah.
Really?
That'll be April 11th at 2 p.m. and then we'll do
April 11th, 2 p.m. Is it what day is that?
Saturday.
I don't even have to take off work. Sweet.
But so
There.
we'll meet. So we're starting to work out the details. We'll meet at the firehouse. We'll probably break up into teams, and that way it's not taking all day. Kind of alternate around, and I'll send something out so that way we can get a head count. We'll do some kind of meal afterwards. And
Sure, I got something else going on today. Dang it.
do what?
I'm sure. I'm like, oh, you can't do that this day. They were doing this. I'm like, dang it.
So, is there any questions?
I'll get back to the lithium battery thing. Because I saw an article the other day where New York City has had like multiple deaths, and especially these apartment buildings where these scooters and e-bikes are getting recharged indoors and catching fire. So maybe as far as the scooter e-bike safety program, you can also point that out too, that, you know, don't be charging them inside overnight unattended.
Yeah, and you know, the big thing, even more so than charging them overnight, is people just, really the big thing that they don't realize, people just plug them into any charger that fits.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's horrible. I think part of it too is they've been, you know, the technology's there, but it's kind of, now you're starting to see the technology fail a little bit, things are getting older. I have said through some training, I guess I'm gloom and doom tonight, but there's some videos of people in elevators and people getting with their scooter, and once the door closes, it ignites, and
Yeah.
so it's, I mean, it's dangerous, but there's things we can do, and you know, definitely I'll get with Chief Hatfield, and we'll, you know, work together, and anything we can do to help them, and vice versa, and try to come up with something. Thank you.
Sweet. Fort Thomas's spring break is not that week. That means I will see you there, sir. Also, that week though is also the day that they're doing. Some of your team is working on adopt a dog over on 6th Avenue. So they'll be having that pop up over outside Body of Art Tattoo. So as a dog adopter, I highly encourage people to adopt a dog. It's great most times. That concludes the department director's monthly reports, and means Mr. Fawcett, your monthly report, sir.
Well, I already talked about the steps. I was going to talk about that, but Beth was already ahead of me on that one. So that's underway. I also want to report that the Riverfront Commons Phase 2 and 3, the entire trail along the river has now been completed, and it comes up behind Manhattan on the River Apartments, and it stops right there at Manhattan Boulevard. And they're currently now, and I think they poured today too, finishing up the trail along Manhattan Boulevard, which will end down at Mary Ingles. The only issue we have left is there are fire hydrants in the middle of the trail that the water district's got to come and move. So they are basically finishing the trail around those fire hydrants, and then once they're moved, they will finish the trails up there on Manhattan Boulevard. But the trail is complete from Phase 1, which is at the outfall. What is that street? McKinney outfall there. It's done all the way along the river, up past the other outfall, and then up behind the apartments into the river. So hopefully, I know Will Weber wants to have a grand opening ceremony here when it's done. So we got probably a few more weeks. They have until May 1 to get done, but they're way ahead of schedule. So hopefully we'll have a big celebration when it's finished. And then we can concentrate on the upper trail. That's really all I have tonight, Mayor.
Yo. Any questions for Mr. Fawcett on his report?
No, I did see where the kiosk got replaced.
Yeah, it should have been, we've had the stuff in the fire department, the equipment's been there for about, well, one piece was there for about 3 weeks, and the other one came in, and once that came in, we were able to get it fixed. So it took some time, but it's finished.
Yeah.
I think it got done yesterday.
I appreciate the help from Road IQ on that one, and we got nice stuff. We really do. Let's take care of our stuff and not do stupid stuff. So appreciate everyone's help on that. Now it's time for anybody from the audience who'd like to address City Council or City staff. The podium is yours for anything you want to talk about. Hey, how's it going? Name and address, please.
Yeah. Christian Neighborhouse from 439 Manhattan Boulevard. I wanted to circle back to a couple things from previous meetings. You, Jay, had mentioned the possibility of a grant for rehabilitation of the levee trail going back. I'm curious to know the status on that, and specifically whether or not that trail, or if you anticipate any part of that project, or maybe the river project that's finishing up, to have better access from Manhattan Boulevard up to the trail, either
Yes.
with additional steps, or how that's going to tie in, because at this point they're kind of separate. So I'm curious about that.
Okay, so OKI approved the grant. So we received notice of that last fall. And so this year, starting in July, this calendar fiscal year, we will be designing the improvements. So it's a 2-year process. And that designing will go through, and then next year we will build it. So it's happening in the next 2 years. And so part of that plan is that at the end of the trail now, you know, you go and you stop, you have to turn around and come back. That trail will now go down and connect to the lower trail. So you will have a connection down there near Mary Ingles, so you can basically do a loop on the trail.
By way of stairs?
It will be a ramp, an ADA accessible ramp.
Okay.
And so, and then we also have a grant to design an ADA accessible ramp from Berry Street down to the river trail. So we'll have ADA accessibility there, getting down from Berry Street and from the upper trail. And we'll also have ADA accessibility going down to the lower trail at the eastern end of the project.
Barry being right.
Berry right here. So you'll go across and you'll go directly across where Berry Street would have used to go. And there'll be a ramp that goes down heading towards the west. It'll be ADA accessible. So if you want to, right now, the only way you can get to the lower ramp is either down by the marina on the western side or the marina on the eastern side. And so now you'll be able to get to the ramp, get to the trail in the middle of the project.
But that still leaves the far western part of the trail around O'Fallon.
Yeah.
And right now, there's a break. You come out into a parking lot.
Right, so.
You can go up O'Fallon and circle around. I don't think a lot of people do that, and I know when my wife did it, she got bit by a dog.
Yeah.
So it's not a real inviting way, and I'm here to kind of, put forward the idea that, some of the planning for the rehabilitation of the levee trail include a way to make it a real loop. It's a loop, with what you're describing, but it's kind of a broken loop.
Right. Well, that's the problem we have there and that's the plan, is that parking lot where the Queen City Marina is going to be developed by Brendan Sullivan's group. So we don't know where that trail is going to be exactly at this point. And Bellevue just purchased the lot next to the parking lot, and they're going to expand their park that's already there, the existing park. They bought that parcel. They're going to send their trail through there. And so we've been talking to Brendan Sullivan. It's the last project he's going to do. It's their major project, and we think they want the trail to go along the river. So, but we're not sure exactly. He's got to tell us where in this development he wants that trail. So once that trail's there, we'll know where it is, and then we need to find a way to connect. Do we take it up O'Fallon? You try to connect it by the Gateway Apartments? I don't know. That's something we have to figure out.
Is he under any time constraint to divulge what he's going to do?
Not that I'm aware of.
But he owns the parking lot at this point.
He owns the parking lot, the marina, and a couple other lots. I think the next development, probably the last development he'll do is that one. It's the probably most expensive one.
Right.
I think he'll develop the other lots up high, and then the idea, I think that he wants to put a parking garage underneath there and build on top of it. That gets expensive. So we'll see how that works out. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So that's kind
thank you.
of the problem, is we don't know exactly where that trail is going to be, so we can't really do anything until we have a better idea. But hopefully he'll have some design plans that we can work off of and work around that.
All right, well, thank you for that update. Also, in a previous meeting, I remember hearing you mention, I don't know if it was a firm initiative or if it was just a desire to coordinate with Bellevue and Newport and solicit the state to have them take a look at the traffic flow at Route 8. And I don't know if there's been any progress on that or develop on that, or if that was just, stating a desire for the way you see forward. But I'm here to tell you, as a resident, and a citizen, it remains a prime topic on people's minds. It remains a prime aggravation. Understanding that there's only so much that can be done.
Yeah.
I've heard people say wild things that most of which I think are not true. There's a lot of rumors that are out and around about what is going to be done. Some people apparently think that it's already a done deal, that there's going to be a major, redo of the traffic patterns and they're just waiting for funding. I hadn't heard that.
The double
but-
decker.
Yeah, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So I
But,
can't update you on that. In fact, I've been meeting with Frank Warnock, the city administrator in Bellevue, and we've reached out to KYTC and asked them to do a study of the traffic issues, particularly the traffic there by the liquor store,
Party Source.
Riviera and Kentucky 8, which I think is really the bottleneck.
Yeah.
So I know you're relatively new to Dayton, and I wasn't here when this happened. There was a full-blown traffic study done by KYTC, I don't know, what was it, 10 years ago?
2013.
2013,
It's been a bit.
16 years ago, or 13 years ago. And they made recommendations, and it was that parking should be taken off of one side in Bellevue. And I think the idea was to do, during rush hour, 2 lanes going one way and then switching and do 2 lanes going back. Bellevue pushed against that. So, so I think.
Those are things at the city's discretion, even though it's a state road. The
state can make the decision, but they're generally not going to do it if the city disagrees with it. But the businesses are pretty adamant that they didn't want to lose that parking. And so that kind of shot that plan down. So this study that we're asking for is not going to be revisiting that one. It's going to say, okay, let's look at what we have now and what can we do to improve the traffic flow at this point. And at some point in the future, you may want to do another study and revisit that. But my understanding is, in talking to Bellevue, they still do not want to take parking off of Fairfield Avenue.
So has there been any commitment by the state to do another study or do anything?
Yes, they're talking about doing it, not the full study like they did before, but they're going to look at the interchanges and, the intersections and other traffic flows to see if they can make improvements to improve the flow of traffic.
But no dates or any particular dates that they've committed to?
No, it's just, we just
render?
actually talked to them last week, so it's in the early stages. And KYTC, they do a lot of good things, but they're not the fastest in getting things done. They have a very long process and bureaucracy they have to go through. So, but I'm hopeful they can speed this up a little bit because it's not a full-blown study. Full-blown study would take many months, maybe a year. So we're trying to get something done immediately, and I'd love to see them revisit a full study, but I'm afraid they're going to tell Bellevue the same thing that they said last time, and so far I don't think Bellevue wants to do that, from what I understand.
Well, the 2013 study was done by Cardinal Engineering under contract with the initial developer of Manhattan Harbor Development, the whole riverfront development. It had projections in there for X number of homes or residences, how the traffic flow would be. But that was done not by the state. It was done by a private contractor contracted by the developer.
Well, I thought the state, this was before my time, I thought the state had done one too. Didn't
No, I
they?
put a copy of it in your
Yeah, I saw that.
box,
I saw
yeah.
that. I thought that was done by the developer, but I thought the state maybe did one as well. But the state did not do a
Not that
separate.
I'm aware of,
Okay,
no.
I stand corrected then. I thought that was the state.
They should be, sorry, allergies, but they should be checking the same attributes that the state would check. So they're gonna check your, you'll get a letter grade of, your intersections and stuff, and then it can be a different letter grades at different times of the day,
Yeah.
so.
Well, that stop light at Riviera was hit by a truck or something, and it was out of service for a while. And when it came back, it never quite was as good as it was before. And I'm sure we also have more traffic now because of the development, but I think they need to really look at that and see if they can get it closer to what it was before that traffic light was damaged.
That was a bad time.
Yeah, real bad. So, yeah, so they are looking at it now, and so hopefully they can find some solutions. It won't be the panacea that we would like, make it flow better like what was proposed, but it'll maybe help a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. Have a good night. Just put a roundabout there.
We'd be a great place for a roundabout, but
2 of them.
take some property.
One at 471 and one at Riviera.
Well, property would be catch and cut or whatever they want to call it.
You need to take,
That's all Bellevue property.
Yeah.
Anywho, that's a Frank Warnock question. Frank, we're coming.
And Newport, that's right there on the border.
That's true. Any other audience comments, questions, concerns for city administration, staff, council, public, internet? All right, we'll go ahead and close that. Do we have any new business for the evening?
Oh, I do. Sorry again for my voice here.
No, that's okay.
This, on the 21st, will be the annual Dayton Eagles 1285 Chili Cook-Off. It starts at 2 o'clock. Rick is helping us with getting some judges together for it. But yes, if you think you got the best chili in Dayton, come on, bring it on down.
What was that date again?
The 21st.
Okay.
Of March?
Yep, March 21st, starting at 2.
Excellent. 21st, come and try my chili and decide why I'm the winner. Actually, I'm not that good at chili, though.
I would like to also have a couple things here. One is I'd like to add a standing agenda item for committee updates, if at all
Sure.
possible.
Ms. Klein?
And I'd like, what's that?
I asked Ms. Klein to put that on the agenda.
Noting.
Look at that. Action on the moment. I like it. And the other thing is I'd like to give committee updates. So one of them is that the Finance Committee currently only has one citizen member. So I'd like to source and advertise for more citizen members of the Finance Committee. I don't know what the status is so far on the marketing group, if they've met yet or what the plan is there. But if we can try and get a little more encouragement for the Finance Committee, because our one citizen member will become a city council member at the end of the year. So we definitely need to recruit more for the finance group. And then on the sports side of things, we have added another member, Tara. Thank you for joining. She's going to help lead some of the running groups that we're going to get started here in the city of Dayton. One of them already exists. They meet at Elliott Coffee on Wednesday mornings at 6:15 a.m. So if anybody's a runner or if you just want to do a jog or a walk, I'm sure they'll welcome you as well. But they meet at Elliott Coffee at 6:15 a.m. on Wednesdays. I know at the park board meeting, there was discussion about potential disc golf courses being put in somewhere around the city. And then also we had heard from Dayton school students not too long ago about interest in sand volleyball. So those are all things that I think we should keep in mind coming into the budget season for consideration.
Thank you very much. Any other new business from council?
Believe it or not, I do.
Really?
I know.
The floor is yours, sir.
I know it's strange, but in answer to your comment on the committees, the first meeting of the Communications and Marketing Committee is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. right here. The Activities Board, the Civic Activities Board is meeting here at 6. We'll be meeting here at 7. And it'll be pretty much an open format to plan how we're going to move forward with this. Jared's going to give a report on the tools currently in place and some statistics there. So tomorrow night at 7 is the first committee meeting.
Perfect. And has any other council member shown interest in joining just as an audience member for that?
As far as I know, any citizen can attend one of these meetings. They just, there's a limitation with the open records with more than 3 3 council members being, but yeah, absolutely, you can come as an attendee, not a committee member.
And that's my concern. I'm interested in showing up, but I want to make sure that we don't have 4 council members there.
Right.
You're not taking any action, so it's all recommendations.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
After the last committee, like, we can go, like, I don't have to participate. Like, if I go as just, and there's 4 of us, as long as I'm not actively doing anything, you can sit back and watch, observe, whatever it may be.
Yeah, come on down. It should be fun to get some of these ideas out there. And
Do we have a post on Facebook?
you've already made an agenda, which is
The
pretty
agenda-
basic at this
Yeah,
point.
the agenda's been posted and the post will be on Facebook tonight.
Great, thank you.
And it has been posted on the city calendar, too. That's all, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Neary. We do. That was on my update, but thanks for bringing it up. It's going to be on the 28th. We're going to have an Easter egg hunt down at Gilliland Park. So bring the kids, find some eggs. Always a couple golden eggs out there. We're also going to do the golden egg hunt, Jared, throughout the season. So you'll see some stuff up out on our website about and social media, I'm sure, about golden eggs hidden out throughout the city. So come out, find yourself a couple bucks, maybe some Dayton dollars to spend at many of our fine restaurants. So the 28th on the Easter egg hunt and throughout the season for the golden egg hunt.
What time is that?
2 o'clock.
So like last time when we had the strategic planning session, we'll have to take a break because that's the same day as the strategic planning session. So we'll take a break in the session and then come back and finish up.
Just one of the many duties of city council.
I was gonna say, how long is that break? Cause I know he reached out to me today for volunteering, like, they need a little bit of help.
How long you need?
So the event starts at 2, so do we get like an hour off to attend that
We go 1:30
entire
to
event
2:30?
and then come back, or how's that working?
That's what we did last time.
Okay.
So about an hour.
Yeah, I mean, you can always have as much time as you need for the kids. We're never gonna say, well, she's 2 minutes late. So just let us know whatever you need, and we'll make it happen. Any other new business? All right. We do actually have a reason for executive session this evening pursuant to KRS 61.8101 Charlie. Ms. Klein?
Discussions of proposed or pending litigation against or on behalf of the public agency.
All right, I need a motion to accept, or a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make the motion.
Ladies first.
I'll second.
All right, motion's been made, second's been made. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
I've seen you and your wife.
Yeah, sure.